Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 164 of my modded Factorio playthrough. In this episode, we're going to start using some of our blue science and see how all of this works. Enjoy! And here's our new lab. Now we have module slots, which is nice. We absolutely 100% want to put productivity modules in there to save on resources even more. So what kind of shape do we want? Well, this ought to work just fine. We don't need 4 belts worth, we only need the 3, but it could always be upgraded later. Let's just copy this shape. It's a little small for the application, but it'll work. And these belts will have to be moved around, but no big deal. And then we can get this in here wherever makes sense. How about right there? Those pipes will be in the way if it ever gets upgraded, but oh well. Let's get everything in here and remove the unnecessary components. So we can place the labs we do have in here. Nice, they all fit. And for now, we can chop off the belt. On the last labs. Put some productivities in there. And we'll need to change these filters a little bit. Where the first one looks like it will be the biome planners and the military science, and actually the red and green packs as well. So red, green, biome, military. And those can all be upgraded. And then the only ones that get shifted the other direction are the only colors we have right now is just the blue one. And we'll have to wait till later to have more science packs. Let's get these hooked up. And then we need to get the blue science in here too. Guess we can use this slot. Man, it's so slow. But that's what the productivity modules do. But regardless, we're making them. See, I noticed we made 80 of them. But we actually needed 84, which is kind of a problem because the position of these pipes. So instead, I think I just want to use modules to fix the problem, because we wanted 3 science per second. So let's start dropping off a productivity module on the end, although I'm thinking maybe not on the end, because the machines on the end are the ones that always run. It's the ones in the front that have limited production. So let's do that. See if that makes a noticeable difference. It does. Now we're above 3. So slight decrease in efficiency, but the balance has been restored. But there it goes. Pumping out that blue science. Let's see, this is going pretty good. It might look like the belt is clogged, but it's actually fine. because they are producing resources for these machines that are basically running at full speed. So it's fine. Well, it's hard to tell when you have a complicated setup like this, but it seems to be moving. That blue science is flying by. And everything else is being done where it's one item per side of the belt. So I kind of want to do this to make it look consistent. The chemicals seem to be doing okay. And how's the bus? Okay. Silicon finally caught up. And then it backed up on catalysts. And now, the few catalysts that are left are being sent to make aluminum. So now aluminum is the short thing. But it's doing alright. How are those solar panels doing? Are they finally getting made again? Yeah, they are. It's going to take a while, though. Could potentially put some modules in here to beef up that production. But it's not long for this world. So, let's start hooking stuff up. And see the labs populate. Looking good, and finally, the part we've all been waiting for, blue science. It looks like some got caught on the wrong side of the belt still. But there we go. All the science types that we have access to right now. So here we are. We finally made it. Blue science. Well, before we even get started on the rabbit hole that is what to research next, because there's so much stuff, let's try to do some repeatables, especially for military science, because now they are starting to require some truly epic numbers. Each additional tier with Science Cost Tweaker you can set to have a different multiplier, and I have it set to where it keeps getting higher and higher every new tier you get, so these numbers are going to get crazy. So let's do projectile damage and speed, and we'll see how this works. Well, there we go. These labs require quite a bit of electricity. You can see it goes from 60 with tier 1 to 150 with tier 2, and then 500 with tier 3. Plus with those productivity modules in there, that it has a pretty high resource requirement. But they're researching. It does not appear to be researching very quickly compared to our output. But I don't know, maybe we should watch this and see what happens. It might happen too slowly to see the level go down. But hey, it's researching. We'll definitely need a lot more labs than this. But we're getting a lot more drone activity these days. And they all seem to be working. Collecting what they need to. How far are we from an Invar request? Kinda far, actually. Looks like we're definitely producing science faster than we're consuming it right now. So we need a lot more labs than this. Let's see, solar panels, 124. I mean, that's definitely enough to build some more labs. But I kind of want to beef up output here. These are actually all tier 1 machines. So we can definitely upgrade them all. And we'll have to go through here, upgrading all the inserters as required, because we're going to super speed these. Hopefully the ratios of everything would basically stay exactly the same if it's the same number of machines, just upgraded and with speed modules. It's just a question of output, which might be a serious problem with even red belts. Well, that's a pretty crude upgrade. Just tons of speed modules and stack inserters where there were yellow ones. But that's certainly using everything up. So let's grab the solar panels we can. So 330 remaining. And we'll let that catch up. Wonder how the base's power is doing. Haven't really checked up on that since all this new production. 462 megawatts. Or 648, well. It's holding, but we're near the end of the day. So we'll have to see how the accumulators handle the night. Looks like sodium hydroxide has run out. Is it just we don't have enough drones for this? Maybe. Because only 3 out of the 5 are going. Oh yeah, I remember we needed to update the capacity. So we need to set this to a much higher number. Probably like 4,000. That should help. This train's fuel finally got here. Don't have enough inventory space for all the fuel blocks, but at least we can pick up some of them. I noticed ferric chloride is running out. Which means something isn't connected. Let's put those blocks back for now. So it's hydrogen chloride gas. Got disconnected somewhere. Man, look at that. Full production of copper. Okay, let's see here. Hydrogen got low. I was messing with these chlorine settings, and I think that caused a bit of a problem. Well, it would be a hilarious circle. But we can put another pump going in this side, where this one runs if it's almost full. This one runs if it's almost empty. Why isn't it going, though? Ah. Less than. There we go. More hydrogen chloride again. Let's see, why is this one going? It's getting 2 on signals. I see. It's set to copper. Is this backwards? It kind of seems like it is. Yeah. Is it just this one, or are they all messed up? Doesn't seem like they would be. Yeah. Was it just this one, which is all backwards? That'd be kind of funny if that was the case. Well, we can use some temporary combinators here as memory. And it looks like we need to reverse this. So that one goes up there. And that one goes down there. Okay. Cross them over. Copy them across. Cross them over. Copy them across. Cross them over. Copy them across. Okay. It looks like we just got some more wires here. I think they're connected properly again. There we go. It was constantly pumping out iron when it meant to be pumping out copper. Whoops. I wonder if that would have caused problems. Because that's copper, tin, and silver, which is what it wanted. Well, that might have been contributing to nickel overload. Because anytime we wanted copper, we would have been making iron and nickel instead of tin and silver, and of course, copper. So that was an interesting find like that. I wonder how long that's been like that. I mean, I'm sure it's been like that since the beginning, since it was never changed since then. But oh well, and looks like silver's creeping down now. But we need only make that nickel request. Oh, I wonder if I change the sides these are on to make it more consistent with the other machines, and I forgot to change the logic. That's probably what I did there. Now that I think about it, nickel's creeping up, but we're not going to be making a request for it anytime soon. Oh. It looks like those combinators were never there. Well, that's interesting, because it filled up way too high on the resources that it needed. See, and that was never connected either. Let's see, and these don't have logic at all. There we go. Well, that might have been where some of the resources were going. Little fixes. As we find them, we fix them and make the factory better and better. Okay. Got some more labs to put in here. Might as well keep the line of them going. As long as we have space, anyway. Alright, let's up production. Gotta get all the modules in there. But that's doing pretty good. Look at that. Right now our labs are the second highest power consumer in the factory, even more than drills. So now what's it look like? Well, it's producing more. But we haven't used all of it up yet. We're close to an invar request, which is nice. Also close to a aluminum request, which is less nice. Seems like we're producing... Is that tin or nickel? I want to make sure we're not making nickel. Pretty sure that's tin. Because I noticed that nickel was high, but it could just be because the logic was reversed, so that's why we have 84,000 when we should have had 80. And we're actually pumping out quite a few solar panels now. So those should be caught up soon. I noticed we put 2 things of glass on here, but technically each one of these warehouses really only means the output of 1 belt because of the speed of the trains, so we probably need a second station for those. But I don't want to build a whole nother station just for, what, 5 glass a second or something like that, so I'm just gonna let it take its course for now. Hey, there's the invar request. Well, while that's clearing out, can go get some more solar panels and finish up with these labs. The solar panels are complete. So we can set this down to 50 again. It just occurred to me, I keep driving by here, but there's absolutely no reason not to put agricultural modules in any farms, and honestly all of these farms should probably be upgraded as well to the desert type, but for now though, there's no reason not to upgrade them. It'll just improve efficiency. Probably gonna need a few hundred agricultural modules for that. Okay, it looks like nickel stopped being overloaded, which is good, and hopefully it just creeps its way down to normal again. And we don't have to worry about it anymore. Looks like it didn't actually turn anything on, because silicon's been taken care of now. Oh, I can help my inventory there. There we go. But it seems to be working. Keeping balanced with all of these resources. I have noticed a bit of a problem here. We're kind of overloaded on raw gas. Is that because we're just not using it for anything? Yeah, pretty much. That, the tank is full. Just because this only gets consumed when we are making crystals. I wonder how close we are to making a crystal request. Pretty far, honestly. It all looks pretty well topped off. Okay, let's hook it all up. If it completely overloads, we might just have to have some logic set up here to just run these to dump the gas. In other words, just create all the byproducts and just burn all the byproducts rather than keeping them for something. Well, in that sense, it might be better to have that system in place right here, now that I think about it. So we'll just let this keep running and see what happens. Let's see, that ran out of something. What did it run out of? Sodium hydroxide, and it looks like it just got another delivery. But, are the drones just not fast enough? Yeah, it could be, because it's running 5 drones. So let's run 10 drones. Looks like they just got here, so it's probably just barely not fast enough. Kind of want to load this up even higher. With like 20 drones. Other sections seem a little slow, because there's like 4 out of 5 drones here. And since we're not actually operating at full capacity, we probably want to max that out. Looks like we're running low on sodium hydroxide, but I think that's to be expected because all those requests are happening, so anything that's producing sodium hydroxide is holding on to it right now. And I'm wondering if those drones are going to come down here and pick this up. They probably will. It's just the long way, so they may be putting it off till last. But we got that research done. Might as well continue. I don't think we need to do military research anymore since we're not maxed out on nickel. Well, let's increase our drone capacity. So stack +1 and 20% more speed. Seems good. Now if that stack got increased, that means the logic everywhere might need to be updated at some point. But I don't feel like going through the whole factory doing that right now, so we'll just update it later as it comes along. This system doesn't seem to be producing sodium hydroxide like I would expect. So let's go down there and fix it. Let's see. It should be getting the signal of that warehouse on this green wire, but it's not. So where did it get disconnected at? Ah, well, it is actually 0. I thought it was connected to the supply depot, but no, it's connected to the warehouse. So it is connected and it is 0. This is set to less than 10,000 chlorine, which is what it's set at. But we need to be able to dump chlorine in order to generate sodium hydroxide. So I wonder why I put that pump there. Can't say I remember. So let's take it out and see what happens. Because this dump is set up where it needs to be high on chlorine, yes. It also needs to be low on sodium hydroxide. So it only dumps if both of those conditions are true. And also I noticed the sodium hydroxide level is very low. So that means that the drones, once they cleared out the northern warehouse, they came down here. So yeah, they take the closest path. Which makes sense. So when this hits 80, it should start dumping chlorine. And there we go. Seems to be fixed. Hopefully it stops once it's got the proper amount of sodium hydroxide. Because I think that was the problem before, is that it just kept running because I didn't have the logic set up right, but it should be good now. One more trip here. And the rest of the fuel blocks acquired. And it looks like the sodium hydroxide did catch up with the 20 drones. It's probably going to take a while for that to equalize, because there's nothing for aluminum right now, and they probably could have some kind of logic here to make sure that aluminum always has some. But I'm fine with letting it fall behind for now, because I think we fixed whatever the problem was with the sodium hydroxide, so it should catch up now. So it looks like we're producing the blue science as fast as we can. This is moving efficiently. It does look like it's kind of clogged here, but it's really not, because most of this is byproducts, and that doesn't matter. All that matters is the products we do need, which is nice and full. On this side, seems to be working fine. And over here, basically the same story. Chemicals are operating. Seems like fairly ideally, actually, because the low point of both these tanks is 20, and that's what they're holding at. We got nothing for byproducts. 100% on the multi-phase oil. And all of the drones are busy keeping everything topped off or empty. The only potential problem is this raw gas here, and it looks like it is starting to fill up, so that is an immediate issue. So we probably want to take care of that. I would like to use the raw gas for something, but if it has nowhere to go, it has nowhere to go. So what else can you do? Well, how much are we actually making here? 14.29. Well, we could just grab that output, fraction it off. Since we have one machine, we can just put efficiencies in there, and then the natural gas liquids get split off again. Same story. Creating a few of each type, but we probably could just burn them. And this is a decent spot to do it. So we can kind of pin this. We can just build it off to the side here and figure out the best place to put it later. But we have this. refining the raw gas, and we'll have the acid gas we can send off, but we already have a place to process it. And it's being delivered on drones at that. So we don't have to worry about that. And that will fraction it into the 3 types. And then this might be difficult to manufacture by hand. Let's see here, what do we need? Whole bunches of stuff. Well, we've probably got the things we need around here already. Let's see, we can actually kind of calculate this here. Where we have our fluid burning heat sources. There we go, taking our 3 inputs, so we shouldn't have any left. And we don't. So we have the steam heat. Looks like we just need 1 heat exchanger going into 2 steam engines. So we'll connect those together. Right there. And the 2 steam engines. 1 and 2. Plus the water, but this is most of it. So we can put it somewhere. Let's put it like right here. Because then we can hook up the raw gas in there. And here they go, starting to make heat. But we're going to be filled up on acid gas pretty quick. Probably want this overflow valve in here. And some type of tank as a buffer. Let's see, what else to research? Well, lots of little useful upgrades. Like an extra 5 slots will be nice. And some more mining productivity. Fortunately though, putting this tank in here means we won't see this running anymore. Because it's not filled up. But it looks like it's not going to take that long. Now we've got this acid gas to send out through 1 more pipe, and of course it's awkwardly in the way in places. But it makes it through. Man, look at all this drone activity right here. And we'll switch this to acid gas and increase the number to 1500, which I believe is the new drone maximum capacity. I guess while I'm here, I can upgrade all of these as well. Also, this combinator looks like it has the wrong settings, because it should be based on the number of drones that come through here. So 20 times 600 is 12,000. So this should be 12,000 instead of 2,000. And that should get the appropriate amount of sodium hydroxide up there. Is it still getting produced actively down here? Yes. That is what we want to see. Looks like the factory's out of saline water though. Might be able to help that a little bit by upgrading these farms. But we're still going. So producing that blue science as fast as we can. It looks like this might have slowed down a bit. It's kind of hard to tell. No glass, no silver. It's probably okay because it's 3.09, so that last one should barely run. So it's actually probably doing okay. Let's make sure the numbers match where we select all of this. And we need 2.61, and all of those will produce more. But let's see, we're kind of not making very many Atmos nodes here. 5.4. It seems to be going. I'm worried it's a little slow, but... well, we can boost production a little bit by replacing an efficiency with a speed. Although this was perfectly sized. We were making 6.6, and these need 6.4. So it's probably just the other side that's a little missized now. We need 6.4. And this makes 15. About 2 speed modules. It's probably pretty good, and a second inserter to max out the belt. That seems to be doing a lot better, but factory is out of glass. Is that just the production speed is too slow? Yeah, looks like it. So we definitely need to do something about our glass production. So this is probably going to be the end of our performance testing of this setup, because we've gone through our factory's glass. Yeah, it's missing here as well, because we're only producing glass at the rate of 22.5, and we need at least 35, so we've done what we can. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with this. There are a couple bugs, but we got most of it fixed. And how is this raw gas doing? Well, it's building up. Well, we can temporarily just hook it up here and see how it works. So it's just busting through that. And working through the raw gas. And then it's all going in here, getting burned away. And they all share the same temperature because they're connected. And it's slowly going up. And we'll need a pump to supply water to this. And there we go, water's in there. Seems to be working. Seems like the raw gas is going down, so the rate is good. So that'll get rid of all that, so it doesn't clog the system. Maybe someday we'll make better use of it, but right now we don't have anything to do with it, so we'll just burn it. But this seems to be going pretty well. Performance is good. But we're critically short on glass, so we definitely want to fix that so we can do further performance testing with our setup, because we definitely want to keep making sure that it's running at full power, because there's a lot of little bits and pieces that go into it. So we need to fix glass to find out if it's all good. But that's going to have to wait until the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.